Hey Rebels! Welcome to Dial a Friend. I'm Grace, and today I'm so excited to be joined by someone who's absolutely crushing it in two arenas, in the classroom and on the volleyball court. Hi Audriana!
Hi Rebel Girls, I'm really excited to be here with you today.
Meet Audriana Fitzmorris. At just 14, she became the youngest player ever invited to the U.S. Youth National Team Tryout. Standing at 6'6", she earned the nickname Gentle Giant for her calm but powerful presence. From 2016 to 2019, she played at Stanford, excelling as both a middle blocker and an opposite hitter, all while majoring in human biology and even doing research on performance and wound healing in Stanford labs. Now, she's a professional player with League One Volleyball, or LOVB, and somehow, she's also an all-star student currently applying for med school. I'm excited to have her join us to talk about how she balances it all.
Thanks for having me.
You're competing at the highest level of professional volleyball in the first season of a new league while also being an all-star student who's applying for med school. That sounds like it would be completely overwhelming to a lot of our listeners. My first question for you comes from me. When you were younger, how did you first figure out that school and sports were both going to be important to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I was growing up, I loved sports. I loved playing volleyball, basketball, soccer, swimming, anything that I can get into, I wanted to try. And on the academic side, both my mom and my dad were teachers. My dad taught business, my mom taught Spanish, and they very much emphasized that academics had to come first, that the power of education, the strength of education would just open a lot of doors for me and my siblings. So it was always a priority that we'd get home and work on our homework before able to get on the field or on the court and practice our sports.
And was there a moment where it just clicked that you had to balance them?
In high school is when I started kind of feeling a little bit more of the pull of that, a little bit more of the, okay, if I want to get both these things done and done well in the manner that I want to, I need to make sure that I'm really managing my time well.
Wow, that makes so much sense. I love how you figured that out so early, that both school and sports mattered for you. A lot of us listening probably feel the same pressure to balance it all. Personally, I do theater, and when I get home, I have a ton of homework to do, and it's really hard to juggle it all. Speaking of balance, here's my next question for you. This one is from Zoe in Nashville, Tennessee. Audriana, I get so tired after practice that I literally can't even think straight, and then I still have 3 hours of homework. Do you have any special tricks or tips that help you get through and keep your brain working when your body is completely exhausted?
I have definitely been there. I think sometimes you forget about how much mental energy you put into a practice when you're trying to be really present at every single point and every single rep. You want to make the most of it and you're trying to get better. So it does take a lot out of you physically and mentally. So I've had those times where I've come home from a practice and it's like, oh no, I have to finish this assignment, or oh shoot, I need to spend a little bit more time on working on this. How can I make that work? For me, what I've learned, and I think for each person it's a little different, I love to take a little walk, either just a 3 to 5 minute walk, get outside or stand up from my chair and stretch a little bit. I think having that physical reset also helps me with that little mental reset. So I'm able to shift from one task or focus to another task or focus. But definitely planning ahead as much as you can, and also experimenting, I think, is a lot of fun. So experimenting, if you can, work on your homework after practice late at night, or if you really can and you're dead, let's try in the morning. Let's see if I can wake up a little bit earlier in the morning and get what I need to get done then. So I think always staying reflective and how your energy is spent and how to protect that energy and redirect it, I think is really important as you're balancing school, volleyball, personal challenges, life, family, anything that comes your way.
Find a way to give yourself a little mental reset and protect your energy. I like that. And honestly, it connects to another real thing that a lot of people face, the moments when nothing goes right all in the same week. Ava from Washington says, what happens when everything falls apart at the same time? What if you totally fail a test and play terribly in the same game in the same week? How do you not just want to quit everything?
I think that's a really important question because inevitably there's going to be times where things are not going your way and it's not fun and it sucks. What I've learned is being able to talk about those challenges very openly and with vulnerability to the people around you, to your support system, to your friends, your family, your coaches, whoever's in that support system for you. I think is really important because you just keep learning and it kind of keeps you above ground, floating a little bit longer. And then you realize through those conversations that everybody's been there. Everyone around you has been challenged, has had things not going their way, have had a really bad week or two. But recognizing that those are just chances to work on your adversity, work on how you're bouncing back, and that you have that support system around you that's going to be there for you as you're working through it is such a great feeling to have. It's such a relief and kind of weight off your shoulders. But you'll realize that a lot more people have been there than you think.
One moment doesn't define you, and it's how we pick ourselves up to push forward that matters. And we can do that with a little help from the ones that love us. Okay, our next question is perfect for you. Isabella asks, I'm an 8th grader and I have this huge dream of being a pro athlete and maybe being a lawyer someday. Everyone keeps telling me I have to pick one, but you didn't. Since you've proven you didn't have to choose, what advice would you give someone who, like me, who wants to follow 2 big paths at once?
I think the first point that I would say towards that is to be open about those dreams. Don't hide or shy away from saying them. I think when you are open and vocal about your dreams, then you kind of buy into them even more. But also the other part of that is that you're able to find those people that surround you to support those dreams. I chose to study at Stanford because I knew I wanted to be challenged both academically and also athletically. And I wanted to intentionally pick a place and environment that would support both of my dreams on the volleyball side, but also on the medical side. I wanted to be pre-med and take those courses. I wanted to do research in a lab. I wanted to study abroad. And those were priorities to me and were part of the reason why I chose Stanford, for example. And I think for you, being intentional about the environments that you're choosing and the people that you're surrounded by is also really important. I think being vocal about those dreams, saying out loud, yeah, I want to be a lawyer. What can I do to be moving in this pathway? How can I be exposed to this pathway? When you're open about that, you'll find other people that will celebrate that with you, will support you in that, and help you find that path that you have fun doing so and you feel like you can achieve those goals.
If you could call your younger self, 13-year-old Audriana, what is one piece of advice you'd give her about balancing school and sports successfully?
I think don't be afraid to take up space and really find and use your voice. I think at times I was a bit more shy or didn't want to reach out and ask for help because I didn't want to be a burden on other people. I understood that a lot of people are going through their own unique challenges, and I felt like me putting out my own challenges were just adding to that space or adding to that pressure and stress. And it took me a while to figure out that it is not a burden to other people. I love when people come to ask me for help or for advice, and reframing that and seeing that I love that and the people around me would be very happy to show up to help me in challenging moments was a really big turning point for me, and it took me a while to figure that out.
Don't be afraid to take up space. I love that advice. Okay, Audriana, last but most importantly, what makes you a rebel girl?
I think I'm a rebel girl because I try to show up in my most authentic self to myself, but also to every person that I come in contact with through volleyball, through school, sports, out in life. I think being somebody who people feel comfortable to be their true, genuine self is a superpower, and I've learned that is one of my superpowers.
Audriana, thank you so much for sharing your story and your tips. To all our rebel girls listening, remember that your dreams don't have to fit into neat little boxes. You can be a scholar and an athlete, a student and a professional, a learner and a leader. Just remember, your mind is just as powerful as your muscles. Stay strong, stay curious, and don't forget to play rebel and stay rebel.